Component number 3, the emotional or affective subsystem. The emotional system is made up of a number of aspects as we better understand how our emotional world influences what we do, how we execute, and how we perform. Being focused, the ability to handle pressure, self-control, how we respond or response management, expectation management, game discipline, comfort, arousal levels, that's emotions, that's what I mean by emotions and how it's impacting us, psychological stability, regulation or control, confidence, adaptability. Ability to handle pressure is such an important part of this because there's always tension and the emotional arousal that arises when an athlete is competing. Whether you're competing and you're under 9C player in one of your early games, or whether you're in Olympic Games or in a World Cup final or World Championships or something like that, you need to be able to stay focused, remain in charge of your emotions, your behavioral responses to those emerging emotions. That's all about containing oneself. Emphasis on containing, staying focused, and having a healthy dose of psychological ability and self-regulation. So first, this means it's important to know how you respond when you're anxious. Listen to what happens to your body physiologically. Some people feel butterflies or flutters in their stomach. Some people feel the adrenaline pump from the lower parts of their back. Some people feel their chests close up. What are your symptoms? There's no right or wrong or better or worse. It just is how it is. I often see people with a dry mouth or sweaty palms or muscle tension or clenched jaw. That's normal. We all have it. But check out what's going on with you. Physically, physiologically, through your body, what is your body saying to you? And if it's saying that I'm really excited, perhaps too excited, then we're going to talk about skills and techniques to reduce that. Now, I was talking to an athlete only last night where he was saying, I'm really battling with in-competition anxiety. When I watch the other athletes performing, I get so nervous because I wonder, can I be like that? Can I be as good as that? Can I exceed my own expectations? Can I exceed what I've seen before me? And that just makes me more and more and more anxious. And so and I said to him, how do you know this? He says, well, geez, my hands start getting sweaty. I can't hold the tools that I need for my trade properly. Things slip. My eyesight battles, I land up blinking a lot. I'm easily distracted. My eyes jump all over the place. My breathing shortens. And I know I take between 10 and 15% of my performance. So that's the first thing. Understand that we do have an emotional world and it exerts massive influence on us. Secondly, how does that manifest itself? Thirdly, can we identify and name it? And then what do we do? What do we do in the moment in order to manage these emotions and these motivations or demotivations or arousal levels? Now, you can't just pitch up and just start practicing the techniques that you might have read about or heard about or perhaps picked up on this site or elsewhere. It needs a lot of off-the-field work. And the title of my first book, which I did a couple of years ago, called The Top 2 Inches, Off-Field Strategies for On-Field Performance. The stuff that happens off the field determines what happens on the field. People think you just pitch up and play and execute and do well. It's what happens when nobody is watching. I don't know where I read that, but it's a really cool quote. It's what happens in the off season. It's what happens when we're not on the practice field or arenas with our coaches. It's what happens when we aren't competing. If I had to gauge a number, I'd probably say that 80% of your on-field performance is determined by your off-field performance.